Yep. Okay. Okay. Hi, I'm Cindy Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, we've got a lot of exciting things going on in the cruise industry, of course, too. So many good things, too. And something else also, the reason why I'm wearing this hat, so you can see it a bit better. Very, very special hat that I bought was actually at Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. Okay, this is a private island that the MSC group owns. Actually, they leased it from the Bahamian government for $100 million for 100 years. Okay, and they invested over $400 million. The island was trashed, and they had to weigh 1,500 tons of scrap metal. Also, the trees were dead. They were building sea life like crazy. And when I was there in 2021, when they christened their first ship there, they've got several ships, of course. They decided to christen it there. Was actually they did a sand cutting for a special lab. Okay, what they did was they wanted to open this marine conservation center. Okay, and they did this sand cutting for this lab back in 2021. It was on the christening Embassy World America. They took us there for the christening cruise itself. We sailed out of Port Miami really, really late evening on April 9th after midnight, and they got to their Ocean Cay Embassy Marine Reserve on April 10th, about 10, 11 o'clock morning. And when I was there, they actually opened up their Marine Conservation Center at Ocean Cay, which is great too. And it was by the MSC Foundation. That's one part of MSC Group. MSC Group, by the way, so you know, is actually family owned. They've got their MSC Container Shipping Company, which is actually the core business years and years ago with the family. Then they launched MSC Cruises about 25, 30 years ago. They've also expanded with their MSC Foundation, their nonprofit. Also, what they did too is they actually have launched their luxury cruise line, Explorer Journeys, 2 years ago. But the reason that this is so special is because we actually had a special day on early this week, June 8th. Okay, June 8th is actually Ocean's Day. Okay, and it's actually Ocean's Day. And what they do is they first start Ocean's Day celebration to really keep people aware of the issues affecting the oceans. Of course, today is also, they launched it back in June 8th, 1992, and it was actually declared in Rio de Janeiro at this global forum, which is a parallel event to at the United Nations conference, right, on environmental and development too, which is great too. As once again, it just they started doing this this special Oceans Day of Global Forum, the Blue Planet, which is great too. And what they do is they do it every year. They celebrate it. So once again, great timing with MSC Foundation opening up their Marine Conservation Center. I was there. It's so beautiful. I can't believe what they're doing too, because they're actually building coral reef trees there. They want to do different things to really revitalize the ocean, which we need to. And that's one thing that cruise lines are doing so well, okay? I mean, I could go on with this for like for a while, but anyway, also what they did too is we just had Ocean's Day earlier this week, June 8th. What they did was the theme this year was actually wonder, sustaining what sustains us, okay? And there's a different way to really celebrate the wonder and awe the oceans inspire to us too. So once again, too, it just took place on June 8th. It happens every year. And I want to share that also today because once again, it's another great example of how the cruise industry is really moving forward as far as saving the oceans, using liquefied natural gas to operate their ships there and things like that too. But once again, too, is as far as this hat, once again, I bought it when I was actually at Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve on the christening cruise of the MSC World America. We dock right there, which is great. Walk right off, and they've got some different shops. But the thing is, everything that you actually purchase at those shops, the money goes towards the MSC Foundation, which is great too. So I love sharing this beautiful blue hat. You see part of the white on it too, which is great too. But a great one because we really need to save the oceans more than ever. Make sure that sea life survives, etc. To what they're doing with MSC Foundation is phenomenal, as well as other cruise lines too. So please keep in mind too, June 8th next year. Remember, it's actually it's Oceans Day. Okay, so keep in mind too. But it's a great way to kind of celebrate what we're trying to do as far as saving the oceans, because it's we got to make sure we save the ocean life too. And also what they did start doing too is at Ocean Cay MSC Reserve, they actually started building coral reef trees too, which is great too. But going back to what they did was there because they actually opened up this Marine Conservation Center. I was there. The opening ceremony was great too. That was on April 10th. But they also, it features a biolab, okay, which is a land-based coral nursery, along with a multifunctional lecture hall, okay. And it was really great because once again, when I was there, they did the opening of it too. The Prime Minister of the Bahamas was there too, along with marine biologist Dr. Sylvie Earle, and the MSC Foundation people there, along with Pier Francesco Vago. He is part of the MSC company and part of the family members. It was great, such a great celebration too. What I love with the foundation is it's a way to, it's the MSC Cruises Marine Reserve, humanitarianism, sustainability, development for commitments worldwide too. So keep that in mind too, because we need that more than ever, and I'll follow up with more things too. But once again too is what they're doing with their Suitable Coral Reefs program is they want to successfully start to plant resilient corals, which is aiming to increase the planting capacity over the coming years for 6,000 corals annually too, and 100% survival of nursery-grown corals during this unprecedented marine heat wave during the summer 2023 too. So I'll keep you posted, but it's just a beautiful island to go to too. Once again, what I love about it too is the blue oceans are fantastic. The ships dock right there. Get right off. They've got different areas. It's not a party island, so don't about roller coaster, zip line, whatever. It's beautiful. Enjoy different things. Plus, they do is they see it late at night. And what they do is they do this special white party too on the island at night. You have to wear white, of course. That's why I'm wearing white today. But also they did music and just entertain. It was really great too. And then just beautiful, just to really relax and just watch things go on too. So great too. So keep in mind too, because once again, remember that every year we actually have this special day. It happens on June 8th every year, called Oceans Day. Okay, so keep it in mind for next year, and I'll continue to share more about that too. Okay, as they learn more about what they're doing as far as their Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve too. So keep in mind too, we need to save the oceans because they're so beautiful, and we got to save the ocean life too. So yes, something else too is kind of fun too is actually, we've talked about Alaska cruises. I want to go back to Alaska. Okay, beautiful areas to see and view. Also, when I was there for my first cruise to Alaska, I did it back in 1997 kind of dates. It was gorgeous to go there. I did Inside Passage cruise. But once again, it was so great because the first night on the ship I saw whales. Yes. And it was beautiful. I mean, just a beautiful place to go to and see nature. And they have different emerging, short excursion you do too is great too. Just amazing what you do too. Okay, and also what's fun too is Cunard Line actually they just have their one ship actually arrived in Seattle yesterday, June 12th. The Cunard Line's Queen Anne just arrived in Seattle yesterday. We're just going to be home porting to sail on Alaska Cruises for the very first time. Okay, so she's doing Alaska Cruises right now during the summertime. She just arrived at Seattle yesterday, launching her first Alaska Cruises in the whole history of Cunard Line, which has been around for a long time. And they're offering round-trip cruises. They're between 7 and 11 nights. And the round-trip cruises are really convenient for people in the U.S., of course, too. Seattle's a great place to depart to from Seattle to Alaska, which is great, too. And once again, she's doing a full season in the Alaska right now. And then in October, she's going to start sailing for the first time from Miami, which is great, too. But once again, it's just, I think, a great way to really kind of see Alaska, a beautiful way, and Cunard's been around for a long time. And like I said, what they did too is they actually did a makeover there, Queen Elizabeth. And so that included, that took place, ended in, they got the updates done March 14th. And what they did is revitalized different dining venues. They also introduced the Harper's Bazaar Wellness at Sea program. They also offer physical treatments, workshops, and additional nutritional programming too, which is great too. And what they do too is they've also added a list of healthy cuisine options too, including plant-based menus. Okay, and really, as far as what they're doing too is this this partnership sailing, home porting at Seattle for Queen Elizabeth is really a first time, which is great too. And once again, it's a great partnership because once again with Alaska Sailings, it does include lectures throughout Cunard's partnership with the Royal Canadian Geographical Society, as well as 11 speakers from Alaska, including historians, photographers, and a dance group. As mentioned, this is her first maiden season in in Alaska, and then of course, then she'll be sailing on Caribbean cruises. This is the first time that actually Cunard Line has been doing this. And also with the Queen Elizabeth, and she just did a huge makeover, which is great too. So keep in mind too, okay? Another fun celebration too, which is fun too, is we think about different ports that cruise lines depart from, okay? And one, of course, is Port Canaveral. They're growing like crazy. It's probably one of the fastest growing ports for cruise lines to depart from now too, which is great. But one thing that just came up too is Carnival Cruise Line just celebrated a special anniversary sailing from Port Canaveral with their ships. They just celebrated 35 years of fun sailing from Port Canaveral with their ships, okay? And they just took place at a special celebration that took place earlier on June 8th, okay? Aboard the Mardi Gras at Cruise Terminal number 3, which is actually built by the port to accommodate Carnival's Excel class vessels too. And actually, Carnival Cruise Line started sailing from Port Canaveral in 1990 with 3 and 4 night cruises aboard their Carnival. And what they do is they currently actually host 2.4 million passengers on over 300 voyages from the Port Canaveral every year, which is great too. It's so great to celebrate this special thing too. Once again, what they're doing is they're also expanding too. And they mentioned that they're expanding their presence in Port Canaveral. They're going to have their 4th Excel class ship. It's going to be operated by liquefied natural gas, and that ship's coming out in 2027. And to commemorate their 35-year anniversary sailing from Port Canaveral, what they did was they hosted an onboard celebration with the Carnival Port Authority leadership, community leaders, also officials from federal, state, and local partnerships, and also the U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Customs, Border Protection, and the Brevard County, which is great too. But once again, different festivities, which is great too. And they then also included David Gorman, who is actually it's Port Canaveral's Vice President of Cruise Business Development. He presented Carnival with a framed Carnival Port Authority Board of Commissioners proclamation, which is great. Which is great too. And Christine Duffy, who is the president of Carnival Cruise Line, mentioned Port Canaveral has actually been a cornerstone of Carnival's success for 35 years. And we're so proud to celebrate this incredible milestone along with the community that has been such an essential part for our growth. Our exciting growth continues with the opening of the Celebration Key next month, okay? An exclusive destination that we will really be a game changer for us and our guests, and that's our private out island called Celebration Key. I've written about it. It looks gorgeous, and it's opening up in July, which is great too. In addition, the Carnival Vista, which is also home port in Port Canaveral, will actually make her first official visit to Carnival Celebration Key in Grand Bahama for the grand opening, okay, which is great too. So let's see here. What else? In recognition of their 35th anniversary milestone, the cruise line announced a charitable donation to a hybrid pickup truck to keep Brevard beautiful that supports the work of this important nonprofit environmental conservation organization, which is life-standing partner of Port Canaveral and the local port community too. Also, donation actually coincides with the week end of World Ocean Day, which I just talked about too while I'm wearing my blue hat because I got that at Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. And it's part of the MSC Foundation too, part of MSC Group too. It's great too. So once again, Carnival does offer different vacation experiences from Port Canaveral, from weekend getaways to longer cruises, including voyages to the Bahamas, the Caribbean, and even longer Carnival journeys, cruises to destinations like the Panama Canal. So once again, they just celebrated their 35 years of fun sailing from Port Canaveral. That's great too. So keep in mind too. But that's another great way to celebrate too. I think so. Yes. It ties in well with everything too. But also, something else that came up too is talked about the growth, of course, when it comes to sailing from Port Miami, of course, which is important too, because that's really, I think when cruise industry first started years ago was sailing from Port Miami, but then we saw cruise lines sailing out of Port Canaveral. Then, of course, Port Everglades, which is in Fort Lauderdale, began too. And, of course, we've seen Galveston growing like crazy, which is good. And then you can take, of course, cruises now on the 5 Great Lakes, which is great. That is also being offered by Victory Cruise Lines. I was just in the first sailing of Victory 1. That was actually sailing, I flew to Seattle. No, I flew to, Toronto, Canada on April 26th. What they do is Victory Cruise Lines, they actually fly you in the day before. Okay, they put you up at a hotel, you get adjusted, get relaxed, whatever, and then you actually board the ship next day. But I was on the christening of their ship. They just renovated it, Victory 1. They christened the ship late morning of April 27th, and then we sailed out the 5 Great Lakes. It was gorgeous. I mean, Great Lakes are really pretty too, to get to see different places too. So anyway, that was good too. But also with Port Miami, what's great too is it's just they really set a great standard too, because they've got different so far they've got different milestones that they've been focusing on too, which is great too. New ships, a good example, of course, I mentioned a couple with MSC Cruises. What they did was they launched their 490,000 square foot terminal, which is the largest in the world, and I actually went there when I was sailing on the christening cruise of the MSC World America. It was gorgeous. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, to see a lot of different ports at Miami too, and also Fort Lauderdale. But I'll tell you what MSC Cruises have done with their new 4-level terminal is gorgeous. Okay, easy to walk around, but just gorgeous, amazing. Something else, like I said, with the MSC World America, that was that was just christened on April 9th. I was there. It was amazing. That was the christening of the new MSC World America, and Drew Barrymore, the actress, was actually the godmother, and it was great. Just a great experience. And they took us to their Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve for a couple days. And then also Norwegian Cruise Line, their newest ship, the Norwegian Aqua, featured a groundbreaking attraction. Their Aqua slide coaster began their Caribbean adventures in Port Miami. Also, you've got some some fun facts about Port Miami. It's really a pretty port. It's huge, but the point is they built the cruises rerun that first too, but also they've got you can get to Port Miami pretty seamlessly too from the Miami airport, of course. Also, Brightline trains, which is gorgeous. I had again to do that a couple years ago. It was fantastic. And once again too is they really lead the way as far as environmental efforts too, because they've got the largest shore power system in the world. And cruise ships can actually reduce their emissions there too by connecting shore power too. And also, like I said, as far as Port Miami, it actually welcomes 5 million passengers annually. Okay. Also, the cruise lines that operate at Port Miami, sailing from Port Miami, include Carnival Cruise Line, of course, Norwegian Cruise Line, MSC Cruises has different ships too, Royal Caribbean International, Disney Cruise Line, Celebrity Cruises, and also Virgin Voyages, which is great too. And they've got a lot of hotels near the port itself too, which is great. Some things to do near Port Miami. They've got the Jungle Island. I was there. It was really great. They got Bayfront Park. They've got the Miami Trolley. They've got the Philip and Patricia Frost Museum of Science. They've got History Miami Museum, but different things too. So once again, just great things to do there too. So keep in mind also too, which is great too. And then something else, as mentioned with MSC Cruises, they are expanding their Southern Caribbean offerings with year-round sailings with 2 of their ships in the wintertime too. And I love, love, love to sail in the Caribbean. Like it's kind of cold here, Chicago area, but it's great to do a Caribbean cruise, like late fall, which is really, really pretty to go to too. And I like Southern Caribbean, which is great too. Once again, MSC Cruises just mentioned that they're expanding their Southern Caribbean offerings year-round. And they're offering some new 7 and 10 and 14 night cruises from their new home port in the Dominican Republic. That's going to start this November of 2026. Also, they've got a new home port marks their MSC cruise ship that'll be sailing from South Caribbean year-round, which is great too. And some other things I mentioned too. What else here? Let me see. Of course, they sail different places too. But keep in mind too, it's great too. And then something else that's kind of fun too is, Celebrity Cruises has their new ship coming out this fall. Okay, I've talked about that before. Definitely excited about that too, because that's their, let's see, that is their, I think it's Celebrity Excel. But Excel is spelled X-C-E-L. That's going to be debuting this November 18th, okay? Great, looks great too. I had a chance to be on some of the other ships too, which is great too. But also, one thing they just did too is they actually have been doing some renovations on their other classes of ships too, including their Solstice class ships. And their Celebrity Solstice actually debuted 17 years ago. And back then what they did was actually started a new area. It was called their Lawn Club, which is a half-acre of live grass on the top deck. And it was like a way for them to really recreate this park-like experience for guests at sea. It was really, really pretty. Good chance to see that. Was in sailing with their ships too. And then what they did was their Solstice class followed with their own lawn club too, which is great too. What they did was, after reviewing people's thoughts on it too, people liked it. It's very, very pretty. I mean, it was here you can actually walk on the grass while on a ship, right? Okay, I mean, very, very pretty. What they decided to do is the feedback they got from guests is they wanted more to do there. So what they did was they're doing a special $250 million renovation to their Solstice class feeder ships. They just announced it. They're doing away with the grass, but they were replacing it with turf and new amenities. And it'll be now known as the Sunset Park, which is great. Like I said, the reason they decided to change is they got feedback, and people really want more dynamic, multifunctional spaces that offer relaxation and engagement too. So, like they said, like their previous lawn club, the Sunset Park is going to aspire with the feel of a park, where you can actually find a land with lawn games, movie screenings, concerts, and actually there's going to be more lawn games there than at the lawn club, which is great too. So also be some private cabanas and they're going to finalize their menu at Sunset Park, okay, where guests can really enjoy different types of inspired dishes, fresh ingredients, also in a relaxed open-air seating too. It's great too. So once again, as far as the changes with their solstice class, okay, they have they're going to introduce a new lounge with trivia and concerts, a new sports bar, and of course, they're upgrading the cabins. And as far as the Celebrity Solstice, right now it's currently going through a makeover, and it's supposed to be done, I think, by March of this next year. Okay, should be done in March of 2026 because they just announced more about this too. That's kind of fun too. So once again, they're transferring their lawn club to Sunset Park, but having more things for people to do too, which is very, very pretty. Okay, I'm having turf instead of grass, but it's going to be very, very pretty. Can't wait to see it too. Something else that came up too is kind of fun is actually Oceania Cruises. They've got their new ship coming out, okay, and it's going to be their Oceania, I think it's pronounced Sonata, okay. It's their first ship in their new Sonata class of ships, and she's set to debut actually in 2027, but the Oceania Sonata will be following her sister ship, the Oceania Arietta, and what they did was they're just adding more to it too, which is great too. So once again, it's going to be the ninth ship within the Oceania Cruises fleet when she actually launches in summer of 2027. And once again, this ship is being built by Fincantieri, but they just announced more about this new ship coming out, their new Sonata class ship coming out in 2027. So keep in mind too, a lot of new ships coming out too, which is kind of fun. And then also, think about things you want to have about cruise ships. I mean, there's so many choices as far as what you want to eat, drink, food, engagement, things like that too. But once again, this is kind of fun too, because once again, this just came up with Crystal Cruises. Okay, now, when you're in a ship, you've got so many choices for where you want to go, a lot of casual things during the day, which is great. Of course, dinner options like crazy. Good things, once again, is ice cream. It's always kind of fun to have on a ship, of course, especially if you're just relaxing in the sun on the decks outside where you're enjoying the beautiful ocean waters too. And Crystal just partnered with a company. It's called, I think it's called Bariani, and they just partnered with Bariani, and it's actually Italy's premier artisan gelato maker, and they're adding an extra touch by partnering with them on board the Crystal Cruise Line ships too. They provide handcrafted ice creams, of course, also sorbets, and their new celebrated brand is not going to be served at their Scoops Gelato Bar. Okay, and what's kind of fun too is with this Bariani, they actually founded in Florence, Italy in 1932, but the brand has really perfected their traditional art of gelato making over the generations, and they just did a partnership with Crystal Cruises. So once again, when Crystal Cruises, thanks to their new partnership, guests can actually choose from a menu of 20 plus classic and contemporary flavors. Okay, they got different ones. They're a 10. I can't really pronounce them very well, but once again, they got one that would be a swirl of chocolate chips. They've got another which is actually dark chocolate hearts. Then they're going to be freshly sorbets also, and then of course sorbets made from ripe seasonal fruits too, which is great too. And then some fun things too is, like I said, just so many good things going on in the cruise industry today too. And also, I've spoken about before too, is with the new ship that Royal Caribbean is launching called Star of the Seas, and she is actually going to be sailing. She's going to be inaugurated in August this year. Okay, that's Royal Caribbean. The ship is called Star of the Seas. It's a sister ship to Icon of the Seas. Okay, and Icon of the Seas came out last year. Okay, and what they did was with Icon of the Seas when she came out, they had a first in the industry. They also had announced a chief dog officer. Okay, Her name is Rover, Golden Retriever, and she is trained, of course, to be on the ship, and she's there to create happiness and smiles for people, including people on the ship, but also the crew members, which is great too. And what's great too is, of course, on Star of the Seas, she's going to have another chief dog officer. Her name is Sailor. We'll show that in a bit, but also in mentions too, they just announced who's going to be christening the new Star of the Seas. With cruise lines, they have usually a woman christen the ship, a godmother, although sometimes some cruise lines have actually had godfathers christen the ships too. But what's great too is in this case, they chose a very special person to be godmother of Star of the Seas. Who do you think that would be? Think about it. She's a very famous person. Okay. They just announced that Diana Ross is going to be godmother of Star of the Seas. Okay. They just announced that June 5th. And once again, they always kind of pull musical talents too, but also they just announced that musical icon Diana Ross is going to be the godmother of Star of the Seas, and she's going to christen the ship in August this year. And of course, she's going to take the stage to welcome on board. But also, like I said, she's going to be sailing from Port Canaveral. Yes. And she'll visit, of course, their Perfect Day at Coco Cay in the Bahamas, which is great. And his godmother, of course, too, is great too. Got more information I want to share with you real quick too. But also, with the godmother, it's a long-standing tradition to show safekeeping on board the ship, the crew, and millions of who make their memories of the ultimate family vacation for years to come too. And to celebrate the unveiling of the star, of course, Diana Ross will take part of this iconic naming ceremony on the ship's Aqua Theater. Okay, it's located in the transformational Aquadome neighborhood, surrounded by a wraparound ocean views too, which is great too. And Diana Ross mentioned, "I am truly honored to join Royal Caribbean family, having spent years of creating beautiful music and also memories and bringing people together from all over the world. It really feels a perfectly continuation of my journey as godmother of Star of the Seas," which is great too. And the celebration is going to tone, of course, with different things too. They've got, of course, combines their beautiful beach retreats, theme park adventures, also 8 different neighborhoods, of course, aboard the ship. Destinations themselves, also really beautiful vacations for families too. And also they've got some adrenaline pumping thrills at their Category 6 water park, okay, which has different, actually got 7 pools. We've got their jaw-dropping entertainment. Also, they've got movie instant hit musical Back to the Future musical, okay. They got more than 40 ways to dine and drink, including Lincoln Park Supper Club and more. And for Star, there's just all kinds of entertainment for people to do, which is great too. And as mentioned, with Star of the Seas, she's going to be sailing from Port Canaveral, which is outside of Orlando. She's going to sail on 7-night vacations, the most sought-after destinations in the Eastern Western Caribbean, including their perfectly rated Perfect Day at Coco Cay in the Bahamas, which is great too, and just things to do too, so it's really kind of fun too, okay? And also, I want to share a little bit more about something else very special about Star of the Seas. They have another chief dog officer, okay? They just did it up to her a couple months ago. Her name is Sailor, and yes, we're going to show a short video. She's really, really cute, but we'll get that going in just a minute, okay? But they have a chief dog officer on board Star of the Seas, okay? She's a golden retriever, and she just got adopted. She's been being trained too, but we're going to share that in just a minute. I think you'll love seeing this. This is so much fun too. But she's so cute. Oh my gosh, I've seen pictures like crazy on social media, also with Royal Caribbean. But once again, her name is Sailor. She's a golden retriever, and she's gone through some training right now too, but I think you'll love it. She's so cute, isn't she? And look how she had her sailor hat on, too. She's really cute. I think she's just a couple months old, but how cute. Have another chief dog officer on board Star of the Seas. So two good reasons to think about maybe sailing on Star of the Seas, because once again, she's the second chief dog officer that Royal Caribbean has. Okay. And I think it's just so much fun to share these things. We love dogs like they're kids, but I tell you what, she's here to create fun and happiness for people too. The good thing is, of course, she's being trained, but she's not driving the ship with two paws, okay? So that's really good too. So keep that in mind too. But just how fun to have a chief dog officer, okay? That's great too. But I think it's wonderful to share that too. I saw that and I thought, okay, we got to share it too. So, yes. Yes. But how fun too. And like I said, she's there to create joy and happiness for people on board the ship, but also the crew too, which I love too, which is great too. And once I get more pictures of Sailor, believe me, I'll share more, of course, in a future episode of Good Ship Happens, because once again, good ship happens. Yes. Beautiful. I love it so much. And once again, just remember that every year we have the special day, Declaration Oceans Day 2. It happens every year on June 8th. That's why I'm wearing this hat, because once again, I bought it when I was at MSC Ocean Cay, MSC Marine Reserve, which is great too.
Hi, Richard. How you doing?
Ahoy, Jennifer. Lovely to see you. I'm so excited we're partnering on Virgin Voyages.
Yeah, I'm really excited too, but I was thinking that maybe before we announce it, that we should decide on my official title at Virgin Voyages.
Yes, and I already have a few options for you.
Okay.
What about something catchy like, don't be fooled by the ship that I got. I'm now Jenny from the dock.
Okay.
Dame Jennifer Lopez.
Isn't there like a paperwork and like a sword involved?
Supreme Goddess of Mermaids.
You know what? Let's just tackle the title thing later. I'm just excited to share our gorgeous ships with the whole world.
Okay. Look, I'll brainstorm a little more and catch up soon on it. Mermaid in Manhattan?
I'm Dr. Sylvia Earle, a marine biologist, oceanographer, explorer, and I'm passionate about the protection of this blue planet. I grew up next to the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, and I've witnessed how much the ocean has changed and how marine life has been endangered. But I know there is still time to help the ocean, which is why I was drawn to the Aponte family's sustainability mission. Explorer Journeys has a genuine ambition to connect people with the wonders of the sea, its marine life, its communities, spiritually, physically, and intellectually. We share the same values and have the same objectives to deepen people's relationship with the ocean, to explore, protect, and restore. Explorer Journeys calls it the ocean state of mind, a sensibility that will ensure the protection of this precious blue planet. Through my foundation, Mission Blue, we're working on ocean conservation, inspiring hope with champions across the world. Beginning with my extraordinary role as godmother to Explorer One, we will be heralding a meaningful collaboration between myself, Mission Blue, and Explorer Journeys and the MSC Foundation towards preserving and restoring the world's oceans, the blue heart of the planet.